After helping over 1,400 people make money with Amazon KDP, as well as building 2 successful Amazon KDP businesses myself, I've noticed clear patterns between those who succeed and those who fail. So here's everything I've learned condensed into one video of pure strategy. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Sean. I've made well over 7 figures from my own Amazon KDP business. I've documented my journey of building out my first account, which I eventually sold for $820,000. And also now I'm building my second KDP account. In this video, I'll share with you real Amazon KDP strategies that are actually working, based on not just my own experience, but also from working with thousands of other publishers, many of them doing even better than me. So if you're expecting some get rich quick scheme or a magical hack that's gonna make you millions overnight, then this is not for you. But if you wanna learn how to build a real sustainable publishing business that can absolutely change your life, like how it changed mine, then make sure to watch this video till the end. So with that being said, let's get started with the first key tip that you have to understand. And that is that higher barrier of entry often means higher profits. So essentially in Amazon KDP, there are 3 different types of books you can create, right? We have the low content, the medium content, and the high content. If you're new to KDP, it's basically how easily you can create these books. Low content books are journals, planners, very few content inside, and that's why you can whip it up, with AI especially, or some, design tools out there in just a couple hours, right? Medium content has text and designs. We're talking about coloring books, activity books, storybooks, those kind of things, which takes a little more work to create. High content books are typically nonfiction, fiction books, right? A lot of text. So you definitely cannot whip it up in just a couple hours. So essentially, as you move up this pyramid, the higher the content the book has, the harder it is to make. And for that reason, most people avoid creating high content books because it's the hardest. And for that reason, if you stick to just doing low content, medium content, you're going to be competing with most people because most people are taking the easy way out. Most people don't want to put in the work, right? So that's why if you're doing journals, if you're doing planners, if you're doing coloring books are just absolutely exploding. Although it's profitable, nowadays it's so easy to create with AI. And if you're doing the AI coloring book, whipping up AI coloring books and spamming that like literally everyone else, then you're competing with literally everyone else. So that is cool if you just want to make a couple $100 a month. But if you want to make 10K a month, if you want to create a life-changing income, then you will have to do something that's different than most people are doing. So what I highly suggest you do is move up the pyramid, right? So start creating books that are much harder to create. If you really want to do coloring books, you can, but maybe instead of relying on just AI, you can start creating custom illustrated coloring books, right? Something that's different than what most people are doing. Or you can actually create nonfiction or fiction books, what we call high content books. This is where I made most of my money. So this is an example of what most people do, right? Most people come in and they just play this game of spamming low content books with absolutely 0 reviews, bare minimum title, right? And a very basic cover that they whipped up on Canva. They upload it, do 0 marketing, and they wonder why they're not making 10K a month, right? This strategy can get you a couple sales because Amazon is so huge. You usually get lucky and you make sales, right? So you can make $10 here, $20 here, maybe even $100, but this is not gonna make you 10K a month, which most people wanna get there. Now, you can choose to move up from that and start creating medium content books, right? Such as coloring books. And that's a little better because it's a little more effort that's involved into creating it. Now, you can create coloring books with AI, very low effort, or you can create something like this that is custom illustrations and it's really nice interiors, good cover. Obviously, you do a launch, so you get a lot of reviews. And if you do those steps properly, you can make a lot of money with medium content. And if you move up even beyond that, right, we have high content. This is an example of a nonfiction book that's doing extremely well. And this is a full-on 200-page nonfiction book full of text, good information. It's actually not that hard to create these books. You can hire ghostwriters, which is what I do, right? I hire other people to write books for me. And you launch it and you recoup all the investments that you've made from hiring other people to create these books because you know how to market it and you know how to make a profit, right? So that's the whole business model. But here's the bottom line, right? Why do most people stay in low content books? That is because they're either lazy or scared, or maybe both. I would say most people are more scared than lazy, right? The fact that you're trying to build this business, you're most likely not lazy, but the fact that you don't want to invest too much time and too much money into producing these books is because you're scared, is because you do not believe that you can make this business work. Either you don't believe in yourself, in your abilities, or you don't believe in the KDP business model. And that is exactly why you're not sure about investing the time and effort into creating a medium or high content certain book because you don't know if you're going to make a return on that investment. So there's not much I can say to that besides the fact that you just have to get over it, right? You just have to get past that fear, because building a business is basically going against the fear, right? Your brain is going to try and keep you in the safe zone, not taking any risk, and you will have to actively push past that to take risk. And that is how people become successful. That is how people succeed in anything in life, is pushing past that fear, right? So what I try to do in this channel is to show you real life examples of not just myself, but also other people who succeeded with KDP, to try and show you that it's possible. I also show you brands like these that are extremely successful, making a lot of money. And these people behind the scenes, right, are just normal people like you and me doing Amazon KDP. So we have this brand, Elizabeth Cole, and she publishes books in the children's book niche. And if you use KD Spy, which is a tool that I have, it tells me that she's making $28,000 just from her first 20 books, just from paperback, another $9,000 from hardcover, a couple hundred more from audiobooks, and another $2,700 from Kindle. So obviously she's very successful. This is probably not average results, but a lot of people are winning with publishing. This is another example of a person that's crushing it in the decluttering niche. So she does a nonfiction high content brand. And with KD Spy, you can see that she does $5,000 from paperback, almost $1,000 from hardcover, audiobook $20,000 because audiobook is blowing up right now, it's really good, and another $1,600 from Kindle. And there are many more examples of successful brands like this, and behind the scenes they're just self-publishers, right? Maybe Dana K. White, she is an actual authority figure, but Elizabeth Cole, probably not. All the other brands that I usually show, they're not as well. They're just someone like me behind the scenes. So you have to increase your belief towards the business model and also work towards creating higher barrier of entry books, okay? This applies beyond publishing. It's not just in the KDP business model. So let me show you some examples. So if you're doing real estate development, right? If you build a shed, that's easy. Easiest form of real estate investment, right? Just building a shed on a property. Easy, but it's low profit, right? Because the value increase that you get from building a shed is not that much. But if you build a house on a land instead of just a shed, now it's a little bit harder. It's going to cost you a little more time, a little bit more money, but you're going to make more profit because you increase the value of the property even more, right? But what if you go into building an apartment complex, right? But now it's much harder because it requires more investment because of the time and the money, but you often make a lot more profit, okay? So when something is harder to do, it often leads to higher profit. Another example in the restaurant business. So if you're just doing food trucks, right? Easy, but low profit, right? But if you're doing a standard restaurant, then that could be a little bit harder, but medium profit. And if you're doing fine dining, you can actually charge premium prices while having less competition because there are a lot less fine dining establishments out there compared to, let's say, a super casual restaurant. So the bottom line is this. The barrier of entry isn't actually as high as you think, but the perception of difficulty keeps people away from trying, leaving opportunities for those who are willing to go in. All right, tip number 2 is competition is a good thing. So this is a crazy concept probably if you're just getting started with KDP or in business in general, because everybody says competition is bad. I get so much comments on my YouTube channel saying, oh, I cannot do this because everybody else is doing it already. When I'm like, dude, you should be doing that niche because everyone else is doing it, right? If no one else is doing it, it's probably because it's not profitable, okay? So competition is actually a good sign. So you want to embrace competition. Once again, if no one else is doing it, it's because it doesn't work. It's not because it's untapped. There's a 99% chance it's because your idea is not profitable. Maybe 1%, you are this genius who's earlier than everyone else, right? But if you're just getting started with business, most likely that's not the case, okay? So instead of trying to avoid competition, just be better because competition is there because it's profitable. So instead of avoiding competition, just go into the same market, but just create a better product so you stand out. Let me show you some examples. So we have this book, Interesting Facts for Curious Minds. It's absolutely crushing it, number 26 in the entire bookstore. The past couple of years, this book has been crushing it, right? Making thousands of dollars a day. And the reason why this book blew up, even though it's in a topic, which is just random facts, right, is because of the book cover. So it's purely packaging. No one else created this Einstein with his brain exploding book cover before. Now a lot of people are copying it, but before he was the first one. Essentially what he did is went into a very profitable niche, random facts, right, that everyone else is already doing. It wasn't like he was the first one doing it, but he created a better product. His packaging really stood out. So that is how his book blew up. Next one is this shadow work journal. So she literally sold 1 million copies, made millions from this one book. And it's because she combined journal with a new topic, shadow work. Although she wasn't the first journal, or she wasn't even the first shadow work journal, I believe. So she went into the same niche as everyone else, but she marketed the book differently. She went into TikTok, and social media marketing was just picking up, and she used TikTok to push her book, and it just absolutely blew up. So that is a little unique advantage that she had. And the last one is the reverse coloring book. So this is trademark, so don't go into this niche, right? I'm literally just showing you this to give you an example of how you can carve out a little niche for yourself in a very competitive niche, right? So a coloring book, once again, is a huge niche, but she did something a little bit unique so that she stood out, and that is the reverse coloring book, right? So it's like the opposite of normal coloring books. So the bottom line is, don't be afraid of competition. Just think of ways for you to stand out, create a better book or something that's slightly unique. All right, tip number 3 is to build a brand, not just a book. So you want to build a series of books that are connected to each other under one author name. Instead of trying to go wide, go deep. So what I mean by this is, instead of publishing one journal, one coloring book, one high content book, one fiction, and just all over the place, right? Just pick a niche. What is your niche, right? And serve that audience as many times as possible. Okay, so that's going deep compared to going wide, shotgunning a bunch of books. Now, more books means repeat customers and higher earnings. So this is exactly why you want to build a brand, because if you have a bunch of books under one brand, the customer will recognize you, they will come back and buy from you again. And this repeat customers is exactly how you build a sustainable, profitable publishing business, okay? If you publish one journal under one pen name and a nonfiction book under another pen name, and these books aren't related at all, plus it's under a separate pen name, the same customer is not gonna come back and buy from you again. They're not even gonna be able to find your other books, right? So that's exactly why you do not wanna do that, because you're not gonna have any repeat purchase potential. Now, your goal as a business owner is to increase your lifetime value as much as possible. Lifetime value is how much money can you make from the same customer. And you do this by offering more books, more products to the same person, because this way you can make more money from the same customer. All right, so let me show you some real life examples. So a great example in film is Marvel movies versus independent films, right? In Marvel, you have the Marvel universe built interconnected with each other, right? Where each movie feeds into others. Sometimes they even collab, like, you know, Deadpool and Wolverine, right? Every single time when a Marvel movie ends, they do a little teaser to the next one coming out, right? And instead of each heroes being standalone, now they're collaborating with each other, and people who watch one Marvel movie, they have to watch all the other ones because the stories are connected. And that is how Marvel makes so much money from the same person, is because one person, one customer will go and watch all their movies. Compared to if you have a independent film, then you watch that movie, even though you love it, there's nothing else to watch because it's just a standalone, right? So that's exactly why most successful movies, they come up with, you know, number 2, number 3, prequel, and then, you know, they do a reboot, right? So that's why they try to milk it as much as possible, but we're doing the same thing with books. So in KDP, each book should connect to your broader brand ecosystem, okay? Resulting in viewers and readers automatically interested in the next release. So you can create content that builds upon itself, just like Marvel. Example number 2 is Starbucks versus local coffee shops. So if you just have a local shop, you know, you just sell coffee. That's it, right? Like publishing random books. That's literally all they can buy, right? But with Starbucks, they built a lifestyle brand around the coffee experience, right? So now they created this consistent experience everywhere you go. It's not just in Starbucks, it's with McDonald's as well. But with every Starbucks you go, the experience is the same, right? Across all locations, you know what you can expect. So the consistency builds trust and repeat purchases. So it's the same thing as if you're building a series of books. Your writing style, your tone, you know, your overall message should be congruent with each other. Just like this brand that I showed you earlier, but we have body boundaries make me stronger, kindness makes me stronger, perseverance makes me stronger. Everything has a makes me stronger positive theme to it, while the book is a little different because the core moral lesson that you learn is different. One is body boundaries, one is kindness, one is perseverance, and it keeps going, right? However, the character is the same, the story style is the same, right? And the tone, you know, the theme, how it feels is the same. The customers buy into the story, and so they keep coming back. All right, advice number 4 is to solve real pain points. So what you want to do is not just to create books, you want to create solutions to the problems the reader have. The biggest thing to understand is that people buy books to solve a problem, right? When they buy fiction books, it's because they are bored and they want to be entertained, just like when they watch a movie, right? They're bored, they want an escape, okay? But when they buy non-fiction books, this could also apply to, let's say, journals, planners, those are utility books, right? They have a reason why they're buying it. If they buy coloring books, I guess it's more so kind of related to fiction. They're just bored. They want some activities, right? So you got to kind of ask yourself, what are the reasons why people are buying my book? But if they're doing nonfiction, it's because they got a problem and they want to learn how to fix it, right? No one skinny ever buys a weight loss book. When they buy a weight loss book, it's probably because they're overweight, right? When they buy a decluttering book, it's probably because their home is a mess. They want to solve a specific problem. So your whole purpose of your book should be to show them how to do that. And the better you can solve their problems, the more readers will love you and they will come back and keep buying from you. So some examples here. Once again, if you're buying a productivity book, you got to ask yourself, why are people buying books on productivity? Obviously because they struggle with productivity, right? Maybe they're lazy or maybe they're not motivated. Maybe they suck at time management. Whatever pain points that you identify, those are the stuff that you got to solve inside your book, okay? If people buy a keto weight loss book, they want to lose weight with keto. So here's the thing. When people buy a keto weight loss book, they want to lose weight with keto, right? But what people do is they start putting chapters like the history of the keto diet into their book. And this is why people get angry, is because who cares about the history of keto, right? If you're trying to lose weight, like the history is not going to help you lose weight. So like you just added fluff in your book, Your whole book should be about how to use keto to lose weight, nothing else, right? Don't add fluff. And that's why identifying the pain point is super important so that you know exactly what to put inside your book, okay? When people buy storybooks for kids, why are they buying the book? It's usually the parents buying the book for the kid, right? And they want to teach them a moral lesson or at the minimum, entertain them, right? So you want to add those content inside. Sometimes people buy coloring books specifically to relax. So, if you start adding images that are not very relaxing, right? Anxiety-fueled images, then, you probably don't want to do that. So that's exactly why nowadays with these bold and easy, very chill, relaxing coloring books are doing really well. So if I would give you some examples in the business field, right? We're talking Netflix versus Blockbuster, right? Blockbuster existed first, right? But there were a lot of problems. Like late fees. You have to pay late fees when you didn't return it early enough. You have to travel to the store to return it. Also limited selections. And then Netflix identified the problem and they came up with a solution. Eliminated late fees, easy access online, huge libraries, right? So they solved multiple pain points beyond just watching movies. And this is another example, guys, of how competition doesn't matter. Because Netflix didn't go and say, oh my God, Blockbuster's already in this niche, I'm not gonna do it, right? That's what most of you guys are saying. There's so many people doing it already, I'm not gonna do it, right? Instead, you just gotta say, okay, most of these books are blockbusters, okay? They got a problem. How can I make a better book? Just like how Netflix did, okay? That's kind of how you want to approach business, because no matter what business, no matter what niche you go into, there's always gonna be other people doing it. If you identify competition, you will never start. Another example is Uber versus taxis. Obviously with taxis, you're not certain if they're gonna arrive. There's payment hassles, also safety concerns. With Uber, you can track the car, right? You can automatically pay with, the app. You can also see driver ratings, so a lot of safety aspect as well. So basically, a lot of business is identifying problems and seeing how you can solve it. Tip number 5 is to be a marketer, not a content creator. So guys, this is the harsh reality of business, not just in KDP, this is with any business, okay? AI is making it easier than ever to create content. In the KDP space, this is obviously talking about books, but AI is making it easier to literally do anything. Even in the YouTube space, a lot of people are creating videos with AI nowadays. So literally anyone can create a book, which means you cannot just do the same thing as 99% of other people and expect to make significant amount of money. Once again, you can just spam books that everyone else is creating and make a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there, $100 a month. If you take massive action, and if that's all you want, great. But if you want to retire, right? If you want to make 10K a month or more, if you want to quit your job, you got to do something that's more than what everyone else is doing, okay? So everyone can create content, but not everyone understands marketing, right? This is how you stand out. Marketing is actually one of the highest paying skills, so you have to learn it, okay? And the thing is, maybe you don't like marketing. Well, sorry to tell you, but you gotta learn the skills that's gonna make you money, right? Unless this is a passion project for you. So going back to this book, The Shadow Work Journal, earlier I said that this author used to work at TikTok, I think, right? So if that's true, then obviously she understood how the algorithm worked. And that's exactly why this book blew up. Once again, her book wasn't that special. Like, there are other books on this topic, on the market already, but she understood marketing compared to the other books that did not, right? And that is exactly why she made literal millions, okay? So a lot of people complain that you have to run ads to make sales. You have to market your book to make any money with Amazon KDP. I get a lot of comments like that, and they say it like that's a bad thing, and I'm like, of course, right? You have to tell people about your product. Like, what business out there can you make money without literally telling anyone about the product, right? People who do Amazon KDP is seriously spoiled, because Amazon is so amazing to the point where you can just upload a book, do nothing, don't tell anyone, and you can still make some sales because there's so much organic traffic happening. But once again, you're not gonna make 10K a month just doing that, right? It was never the case. Even in 2016, when I started, right, you had to market the product, so nothing changed here. So if I would compare this to a food truck business here, right, that's like saying, you're gonna start a food truck, right, and you can just plop it up on a street, and you're not gonna put any flyers, no social media posts, no signs about your product, not even be on Google Maps, right? Nothing. You just plop it up on a random street and you just wait for people to come. Like, if you tell other people that's your business plan, how many people do you think will tell you that you're crazy, right? But that is essentially what most people are doing with Amazon KDP, okay? So you're literally just sitting there waiting for someone to walk up and ask you to buy, right? And that's what most people do with their books. And obviously you don't want to do that. So the great thing is marketing, just like any other skills, just like design, just like writing, any skills that's required in KDP is something that you develop along the way. You don't have to know how to do this from day one, right? I had zero knowledge about marketing, but I learned it one day at a time, right? Now I think I'm pretty good at it, but it's something that you can start earning while you learn, okay? So it's not like you gotta be an expert. If you're watching this is your brand new business, don't get discouraged. It's actually quite simple once you understand it. All I'm saying is that you have to do it. Okay, there's no way around it. All right, advice number 6 is to build systems to scale. So if you want to scale to 10K a month or more, most likely you need to build systems. You also need to outsource your work. Okay, it's very, very hard to hit $10,000 a month doing everything yourself, being a solopreneur. I mean, even if you hit it, and yes, anything is possible, but you're gonna be grinding like crazy, working a lot of hours, trying to do 10K a month, publishing and doing everything yourself, right? So why not make it easier for yourself? You can obviously start with doing everything yourself, DIY style, if you're low on funds or you want to gain experience, but you want to start learning how to delegate to a team member to do things faster, publishing books faster, right? You want to outsource one thing at a time until eventually you are free. Because essentially what you want to do is to buy back your time. So buy back your time is a concept where, as a business owner, you're going to be wearing a lot of hats, right? You're going to be the marketer, the product creator, you're going to be the influencer on social media, you're going to be doing accounting, you're going to be doing everything yourself, and that's normal, when you're starting business. But eventually you're going to buy back your time, which means you're going to hire somebody for accounting, hire somebody for marketing, hire somebody for product, right? And eventually your team is running and you're making the same amount or more without doing anything, because now you're the CEO, right? You're not doing the work, you're just telling other people what to do. And you can do this with KDP. It's actually one of the best business to do this. KDP is one of the most passive business out there ever, right? If you know how to build this. But if you don't learn how to do this, you're gonna be forever trapped in a business treadmill, okay? So many people try to quit their 9-to-5 job just to create another 9-to-5 job within their business. Okay, how many of you guys are experiencing this right now? Because you're doing everything yourself, right? That's exactly why you feel like your business is just another job, right? Because you're working so hard on it. Okay, that's why you got to learn this skill. So I got this video on how I work less than 4 hours per week on my Amazon KDP business. If you guys want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description. But essentially, this is my current team structure, right? I got the ghostwriters writing content for me. I got an editor that checks that. I got a cover designer that creates cover for me. I got a formatter that formats, Amazon ads specialist that does all the ads for me. I never check my ads. And then I have a general virtual assistant that does like in-between work. And this pretty much covers like 99% of everything you got to do with KDP. So there are many, many places that you can find freelancers to start outsourcing. Just to give you a few examples, Fiverr is one of the places, especially if you're just getting started and if you're wanting a low-cost one-time solution to outsource, Fiverr is a great place, okay? I'll leave a link to some of these gigs if you want to check it out. But to give you an example, you can pay somebody to create an entire low-content, medium-content book or just a book cover for you, like this gig right here, right? For 45 bucks, you can get a whole no-content book created. So basically a book and a cover created. So if you're trying to publish those books, you can it's literally done for you, okay? You spend zero time. And this gig, you can see the samples, but it looks pretty damn good. So my question to you is, can you create a book like this yourself using Canva? Do you have the design skills to do it? If you are able to, how much time is it gonna take you? Is it gonna cost you more than 45 bucks? Like if you take your current hourly income, whatever it is from your job, and multiply that by how many hours it took to create your book on Canva doing everything yourself, right? Is the total amount of that lower than 45 bucks, right? If that's not the case, then you should probably just outsource it because you're valuing yourself lower than whatever, hourly rate that you're getting paid right now. Another example is this one. If you want your book formatted in a very, very professional way, you can actually get it for just 95 bucks, right? And you can get your book formatted. It actually looks super duper nice. So, I'll leave a link once again in the description below. And if you want to start outsourcing your Amazon ads, then you can use tools like Adsology, right? This is a automatic Amazon ad optimization tool, right? So I talked about this. I got a video on this actually. I'll leave a link to that video and also this tool in the description if you guys want to check it out. But this is how you can start spending less on Amazon ad while still running it. And it's not going to consume so much of your time. So in terms of real world business analogy, we can talk about McDonald's as well as independent restaurant, okay? With a independent restaurant, basically just a mom and pop shop, right? Everything is manual. The owner cooks, the owner takes orders, the owner manages inventory, the owner handles marketing, and as a result, you never can scale. And you're trapped in this hamster wheel of having to show up early at the business, having to do everything, you're closing it up and rinse and repeat every single day. So once again, it's one of those things where you quit your 9 to 5 to start a business, but your business becomes your 9 to 5 job, or sometimes 9 to 9, right? Longer than 9 to 5. A lot of people do this. Compare to that with McDonald's, right? Everything is automated, okay? You have a documented process, so it's super easy for anyone to follow. You got trained team members. You have standardized procedures. You have the owner overseeing the system, but they're not doing everything themselves, right? It's the team member doing it. As a result, you got a very, very scalable business. You start one branch and then you can start another branch and another branch, just like how you can create a book and then another book and another book, and you keep going. Advice number 7 is to not rely on one platform, okay? So you want to diversify where you upload your books. You don't want to rely solely on Amazon. You can upload your books in other stores such as Draft Digital, Ingram Spark, Apple. And please keep in mind, as I say this, that Amazon is still the best place to upload your book. I'm just saying don't rely on it 100%, but 70% of the time you should be relying on Amazon. The other 30% where customers are buying books outside of Amazon, you should try and tap into it too with these other stores, okay? You also don't want to rely on just one traffic. So, don't just rely on Amazon organic traffic, although you will get that. You want to supplement that with ads, social media, email lists, right? The more you can build that, the more bulletproof your business is, and the harder for your competitor to compete with you. If you got a huge email list and your competitor doesn't, then obviously you have a huge moat around your business. This is the TikTok account of the Shadow Work Journal that I showed you. You can see that they have a 323,000 followers, and some of their videos are getting literally 35 million views, 29 million views, 69 million views. It's insane, okay? So, if you have this social media channel, right? And you can make one post and go absolutely viral like this and get a crap ton of sales compared to your competitors. not being able to get that, and they're just relying on Amazon organic because they don't have this, obviously you have a huge advantage, right? So you want to start building that. And just to show you the type of videos that they're making, it's super simple. It's literally just ordering your book, flipping through it, you know, you're not even showing your face, right? And that's 30 million views. This one is just reading the, you know, the text. It's not even doing the activities. It's literally just reading the text one after another. 69 million views. This one, same thing, just reading the text, not even filling it out, nothing. Just open a page and read the text, right? If your book has 100 pages, right? Then you can basically create 100 videos just like that. And once you finish creating the 100 videos, you just go back from the start and make the same thing again. So you have unlimited content ideas. So in terms of the organic content strategy, each page can be its own TikTok video, like I said. If your book has 100 pages, you have 100 potential videos. And you want to post 1 to 3 times daily consistently, okay? Social media, especially even email list, this is not something that you will see results quick. You got to build this months and months and months. Most successful TikTok accounts, they say that it took months of posting consistently just for them to start getting views, not go viral, start getting views, right? So that's kind of the expectation that you have to have. It is super slow in the beginning, but it's worth it once you build it up, okay? You want to repurpose the same videos to Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. And also some people are even posting it on Twitter and Pinterest, which is interesting. You can definitely test it out. I never tested it out yet, but depending on what platform your target audience uses, this could be effective. Maybe even LinkedIn, you know, if you got a business sophisticated audience there. So the mindset you want to have is most videos will not go viral, and that is absolutely normal. Top publishers post daily, most get few thousand views. But when one hits like 67 million views, when we checked just now, it was 69 million views. So that means in the past couple days, since I scripted this video, right, it got 2 more million views. It's insane. It can change everything, okay? Success comes from consistency, not perfection. You want to stick to it for 6 months plus. All right, advice number 8 is to build with exit in mind. So as many of you know, because I talk about it in literally every single video here, is that I sold my first KDP account for $820,000. So these are some actual sale examples of a KDP account. So if you are making $2,000 per month profit, and if you get a 34x multiple, you can potentially sell your business for $68,000, right? And I've seen this happen multiple times, right? My friends sold this for much higher than this as well. If you have a business that's doing $3,760 per month profit and you get a 40x multiple, then you can sell it for $150,000. If you're making not even 4K a month, you can potentially sell it for $150K. Isn't that crazy? You know? And if you're doing $7,800 per month, you can sell it for $340,000 potentially, right? So these are some real examples of live KDP accounts that are being sold on Empire Flippers right now. And you can see that this one, 11,000 monthly profit, 30x multiple, so times 30, which means you can sell it for $333,000. This one has a 35x multiple, so it's making $7,000, 35x, and it's listed for $251,000, right? So it's insane how much you can sell it for, how much money you can get up front. Obviously you can keep it and, you know, collect the monthly royalties, but you can also sell it and get a bunch of cash up front, maybe buy a house or something. It's up to you. So how did McDonald's dominate the fast food franchising industry? Well, that is because they had a system, right? Like I said earlier, they documented their entire procedures, they trained the staff, right? They have replicable systems, and for that reason, they are highly sellable. Like everybody wants a McDonald's franchise because it's basically running like clockwork, you know? It is very, very automated. So now franchisees can earn money without working actively. Just a few hours a week to check is enough, because a franchisee, basically I can go and buy McDonald's, right? And hire some people to put in that business. And I already know the McDonald's system. Everybody knows the McDonald's system, right? And there's already SOPs and training manuals that I can, you know, get my employees to take over, right? And now I'm a business owner. I'm the owner of McDonald's. I don't really do the work, but the business is running. So you kind of want to do the same thing with your Amazon KDP business, because if you want to sell your business at a high valuation, then the buyer is looking for that, not just a collection of books. So before you try and sell your KDP business, you know, it's best if you have these things in place, such as hiring a team, building systems, documentation. So these are the SOPs, and also implement something like a profit tracking system. Now, if you guys want a step-by-step tutorial on how to sell your KDP account, I do have a video here. You guys can check it out in the description below. The sweet spot, just a quick tip, is to sell your business for a valuation between $100,000 to $500,000, because there will be a lot more buyers trying to buy at that price point. If you go over 500K, it's actually a lot harder to sell it. I struggle to sell at $820,000. A quick note is that I actually had my business listed for $1 million. So it was actually valued at over $1 million bucks, but nobody offered to buy at $1 million. Not because the business sucked, because the business was good, right? That's why it was valued at $1 million bucks, but just because the pool of buyers are much smaller, if it's listed at $1 million. And a couple months later, I got an offer for $820,000. And if I know what I know now, obviously I wouldn't have sold it. But back then I was new to everything. I wasn't sure if I'm going to get a better offer. I wasn't sure if I should have kept the business, sold it. So I sold it. I do regret selling it at a price that's, lower than my actual valuation, because I truly believe my business is worth $1 million bucks, right? But that's just how it is. It's all learning lessons. But that's the quick tip, is between 100K to 500K is a good place to be at. You can also sell and start a new KDP account as well, which is what I did and many of my friends did. All right, advice number 9 is don't be afraid to invest in yourself. So no matter what you do, you will have to invest in your business, right? Whether that is time or money. Like, you can do everything for free. Watch the free videos, right? Use the free tools, write the books yourself, right? Do free marketing like social media. When you do free stuff, you'll save money, but you're gonna pay a lot in time, like a lot of time in exchange, right? If you want to save time, you can get courses to shortcut your learning process. Use paid tools for keyword research, marketing, right? Outsource your book writing process to a ghostwriter so you can create books faster. You're going to save a lot of time, but either way, you will be paying with time or money, okay? There's not a single business where you can make money without investing your time and investing your money. You have to choose which is more important to you. So when I started, I bought 2 courses, right? When I was 21, I got started in this business, and immediately I invested in 2 courses. I outsourced, I paid people to create multiple books while making around $3,000 a month from my full-time job, right? So from the very beginning, I invested money into this business because I was working a full-time job. I didn't really have extra time, right? So I just lived very frugally, and then I saved money and invested in the business. Okay. And once I made my first dollar from my Amazon KDP business, I immediately took my life savings of $6,000 and invested into one-on-one coaching, because I was so hyped up that I actually made money online after failing for 4 straight years. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy, right? My mind was blown. And I'm like, this is what I want to do. So I went all in. I paid somebody $6,000 to coach me. And that helped me scale to 10K a month in 10 months, right? And I kept scaling and scaling from there. So it was definitely worth it. Obviously, I'm not saying everyone should go and spend $6,000 in coaching from the very beginning. But if you're the type of person that is busy, but you want to build this business, right? And you want to go the fastest way possible, and you want to save time and you're not afraid of investing the money, then perhaps getting courses or coaching is probably a good idea for you, right? And obviously using paid tools, outsourcing those kind of things to produce the book as well. So, and I later invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in coaching and paid resources over my lifetime. So I actually invested way more than that. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars just in coaching. So I definitely am a believer in investing in yourself. Which, if you guys want to learn more about my Amazon KDP coaching program, then there's a link in the description. It's the first link in the description, which takes you to this page. The video explains everything. You can also apply to do a free discovery call with us from this application here. So you can't really join even if you want to until you talk to us and see if this is a good fit for you, right? By the way, this is not a free coaching call. This is a discovery call to see if the program is a good fit for you. I just want to say that because some people have been applying just to get free coaching calls, and unfortunately, we cannot do that. So yeah, this is to see if the program is a good fit. If you scroll down, you can see a lot of testimonials. A lot of students are doing well, right? We have students doing thousands of dollars a month, some even doing thousands of dollars a day. So if you look at the testimonials here, we have a lot more. And you can see what's included in the program as well as all the bonuses that we offer here. So this is not just a course, it's actually a course plus a one-on-one coaching hybrid offer. So you can learn more about that from the link in the description. Obviously, it's the same concept, right? If you guys want to go fast and if you want to invest in shortcutting the education process, then you can consider joining the program. If you guys don't want to do that, no problem, right? That's why I have my free YouTube videos, so that if you rather save money and invest more time into going through, piecing together my YouTube videos or other channels' YouTube videos, try to figure it out yourself, go for it. Some people might have to do that, and we're not judging here. So it's definitely up to you, but just keep in mind that if you think my free YouTube videos are good, then my paid programs are a billion times better. That's what everybody says. You can read the Trustpilot reviews. We have amazing Trustpilot reviews of 4.9 average with over like 230 reviews or something like that. So far we're doing great, and I'm sure someone will one day leave a negative review because you cannot please anyone. But for now we are doing pretty good. So once again, guys, if you guys want to check it out, the link is below this video, as well as all the tools and resources that I mentioned in this video. This was a very long video, so if you guys made it till the end, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, if you made it till the end, then let me know that you made it till the end. So comment below saying I made it till the end. I also want you to comment saying no BS, because if you like these no BS advice videos, then let me know so I can make more of this. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.